And hi. Oh, I forgot to turn off monitoring. Oh, that's terrible. Hi, I'm Mutgren and I'm here to finish that Abacus that I've been working on stream before. Perfect. Okay. Ooh, jump scared myself. Um, did also mean to open a couple things here. Oh wait, I have that nail there. Um, we're at the last phase. I didn't really do much besides just get oh jeez, get the magnets in. So this is the lid. It actually has an up and a down. Doesn't really matter a whole ton. Uh, I can tell by that little knot there that that's up. This flips over. I also tried to align my vise, and that didn't work. So I gotta retop this. This is ultimately what's holding everything back. I mean, this is definitely crooked, but so it helps protect everything in place. And then you slide it off, and it's supposed to stick up here as like the way to keep it. But as you see, it's not strong enough to hold it, so I do need to put a third magnet. So I'm gonna put some beefy boys probably into this because I'm not sure, but I have the little hole there. So that nail that I just put down, we're going to shorten it quite a bit with these handy dandy bolt cutters and slot them in and use that as our guide. So we're just going to right into the table. So I'm just gonna make sure that these are point up in here. Oh man, these are tiny. Should have cut a little farther down. It's okay. So once you get the magnet in, we just got to do some refinishing. I should have brought down tweezers. I also heard my 3D printer go off, like finish a project, and I've never heard that sound before because they've never been around. I was like, is it breaking? What's this alert sound? Wow, that's actually too small, I think. It does not flat. Yeah, it's not flat. Ow, that just hurts my fingers. What felt silly to try to do? Well, you know what? I can probably just put the point here, and it's enough. I just need to mark the wood. They don't need to be perfect. They just need to be close. We're going by golf and hand grenade rules here. So we're just gonna pokey. No, staying in my skin. That's not helpful. That's not helpful. It just stays in my skin. Okay, that should be fair enough. I just want to get it sticking relatively straight up. Relatively. I'm about to make another one. Slightly longer. And into the table. Yeah, that's why it was so easy the first time. I only got like the very tip. Alright, so we're just going to pop that there. I am going to have to do some work on it, which is cool. Which means I'm just going to file this side flat before I do it a third time. This is like a wood file, but nothing matters. None of this matters. Alright, and let me just hit something here and see. G. Okay, cool. Just curious. Alright, so that would go into there. Like right there. And up. Okay, it's kind of doing it. It's not perfect, but. Alrighty. Third time's the charm. Into the bench. Flat inside. Sorry, that's just a bench dog. I was doing some planing earlier, and I needed stuff to stay upright. Oh, wait, am I using the right side? No, I'm not. This side. This side. Don't betray me. Oh, everything's betraying me. Hmm. So up, left, and then back around to like there-ish. See if I have any other thin, small, spiky things I can just like pop there to get my bearing here. Or if I can do it this way, hold on. Okay, that should be close enough. I'm just gonna pop a little right about there. It should be close enough. Start the pilot hole. Let me also try to get you a bit closer. I wish I had a horizontal rack, because I don't have a horizontal rack. Like, if I could just make the whole thing travel left, I could probably build that. Look at me adding tasks onto more tasks that I still don't have done. This is the way. So pilot hole, just real shallow. Perfect. And we are going to use the magnets that should be stuck to one of the tools here. No, not to you, not to you, not to you, not to you. Should be stuck to you? As evidenced by how you're picking up other things. Yes, then it is you. Okay. So, I have these two thick neodymium magnets that are twice as thick as these. So these should be more than enough. These need the big boy to be able to seat. And hopefully once this is done, it should be enough. And these ones just have to be polar to each other. Because there's no, like the other ones have to be polar on both sides because it's double-sided, like for the lid and the lid storage, where this is just for lid storage. Oh, no, 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 I'm not breaking through, right? No, okay. Sorry, I went through the stages of grief, like immediately. Nope, not there yet. Just gotta, I feel like these are, I feel like I need to actually go a bit size up. To like this one. Yeah, let's get it up. Before I go down too deep, too greedily, as dwarves are known to do. Oh, no, I don't need you to ratchet, right? Right, because right now you would, yeah, there's not enough. Ratcheting would be nice, but there's not enough resistance to start the ratcheting mechanism. Okay, so that hole is right, just needs to be deeper. Whee! Spin! Alright, so it's seated in there, and now it's kind of stuck. Okay, perfect. How thick are we? Okay, we're fine. Oh, please don't slam into each other, magnets. That's how you get broken. Yeah, didn't magnets are so fragile. Okay. This should be deep enough. A little bit more, maybe like one more rotation. Perfect. Okay. Okay, awesome. Oh, hey Centipede. What are you doing here? Don't go towards the danger. Am I a joke to you? You know you don't belong in here, right? You know we have the old pact. You stay out of my line of sight and I don't squish you. I'm gonna find your progenitor. You're gonna settle this. How dare you not honor the ancient agreements, the ancient oaths? You have no honor. I know you're young, but I know you're but a nymph, but This is just a side I'm nervous about because the wood's kind of thin. And like to get, like as you see per the drill, it doesn't start as wide with the entirety down because it starts at the split point. So with a Forstner bit, I could potentially start with the hole as wide as it needs to be, but I don't know if you can hand drill that, and I'm not sure I have one that's this size. I feel like you need speed for the Forstner bits. I feel like they're meant to be used as machines. I mean, they're meant to be used with drill presses, but people use them with hand drills, which makes me clench a little bit because your average hand drill slash all that is has a lot of torque to it, and it doesn't care what's holding it. So you're going along with that Forstner bit, and it's zooming, and then it stops. Your hand and wrist keep going, whether you want them to or not. You're not strong enough or have quick enough reflexes to overcome that torque gradient or that sudden application of torque to your wrist. All right, just testing for fit. Close. A little bit more. I'm going to just kind of lean it a little bit as I go around just to try to, because I don't want to dig as much down. I want to widen the hole a little bit. That's part of it too. It's not perfect. The magnets themselves, as I push them down, will kind of spread fibers a little bit. But I can't push it too hard because I don't want to break the back plate. Close. Needs a bit more. All right. Let me just get one real fast. Please don't snap back. Please don't snap. Please don't snap back. Okay, thank you. As I put you down on things with other things that have magnets in them. Just tempting fate. Close. Yeah, it's because the hole isn't flat. So now I'm just kind of trying to get the split points to hit the side. How do you look now? Oh, stop flipping. It's like a 30-second or something proud. It's really small. All right, let's go. All right, that's enough. If I do any more, I'll give myself an ulcer. So we're just gonna put it in the sandpaper, just to kind of hit the inside of that, make it a little bit smoother. Okay, no blood on the other side, perfect. It's about 2/3 way through the thickness, it feels like. And you're fine over here. I did this good enough. Where'd you go? There you went, okay. Okay, on the first piece, I want to go down a little bit more. Excuse me. Just like ever so slightly. Wrong thing. Bit brace, come to me. Okay, perfect. Enough. Perfect enough. Get the inside of this with just a little bit of sandpaper. Just to get the extra flack and stuff like that off. Okay. So, probably just try to keep polarity so that we don't have just a wild card. So like, let me think. So they'll be in the same, if I can separate these, they'll be, I could put them on one of the corner ones and that would give them the same orientation as the other magnets on their face. So Once I can split this, put that one on there without it snapping, put this one on here without it snapping, take a sippy. Okay. So now just to confirm, the tops of these should attract. Yes, they do. Yep. Okay. Ah, I lost them. They snapped together. Yeah, I've been cut by these. I've actually gotten some splinters from these, and that sucks. It happens when they break and they like smack into each other. They make a bunch of little shrapnel, and it like really easily penetrates your skin because it ends up very sharp. Because these are metal ceramics, something like that. I don't know. I'm not a chemist, physicist, geologist, man. I'm just a dwarf. Just dig. Oh, speaking of dig, I didn't post a picture of it, but I planted some daikon really late, kind of just to I had the seeds and just to kind of get use out of them, thinking I'll get nothing, and I planted them maybe like the last 2 weeks of November. Like once again, not expecting anything. Maybe in November, the first week of November. But oh no. But I looked, and yeah, I got some stuff. I got like 3 daikon worth bringing in to clean up and eat. So I'm very pleased about that. I was not expecting those to survive any of these frosts because they haven't been frosts; they've been freezes. So I'm very surprised, pleasantly so. Okay. Ugh. God, so much run out. That was too much glue. It's always a guessing game because then I have to like sand it because the finish won't adhere to the glue and vice versa. It's just like super glue's weird. Like that's kind of the bad part is now I have to wait for that super glue to cure before I can do anything. And it seems like it would cure pretty quickly. It does not, especially when it's in a lump. Super glue interacts with moisture in the air, like water in the air. So like if you really need it to cure badly but quickly, you can always use like a little bit of spit. But it's moisture that does it. So when it's inside of its own, like the center part of it, will just stay gooey until something breaks it up and it exposes it to more moisture, or just what do you call that? Comes through the surface. Top view, perfect. All right, so I'm gonna go get another piece of sandpaper and put this one out of its misery. Thank you, sandpaper. You've done very well for us. And get another piece. Sorry for the crinkle sounds. They'll be around for a minute. Okay. So there's 2 things. Got a brown paper bag. I'm just hitting my monitor. Maybe there's a different setup for this monitor. It really could be over. The winter makes me want to do all sorts of home improvement projects. I guess because oh, this is the wrong paper. I guess because it's 220. It'll work. It's a crappy paper, but yeah. So we're gonna sand, especially where we got glue, because once again it won't work there. And then we will. I can actually probably do this now on places that have regular wood finish, just a little bit of burnishing. Any place that seems a little raised. Because paper bags are actually equivalent to grits of sandpaper, like very, very fine grit, more closer like polishing compound. But as long as it's relatively crisp, you can just run it along to help knock down any nibs, anything's poking up. And we will be using a couple more things. Yummy, tasty solvents, of course. So we have our tongue oil sort of stuff. Wipe. Oh no, I just put that right on my card scraper. So this stuff, it's not glorious, it's not glamorous, but it works, and it creates a pretty okay finish. I don't think it's like what I would prefer to do multiple coats of boiled linseed oil, but that would take so long for it to cure. that I don't want to deal with it. Also, I have shellac here. One day I'll do something in shellac. I like the feeling of shellac, like waxed shellac. It's a nice satin feeling. It feels real nice on, like a lot of stuff. Like I have a tool rack that you can't see, but it's over here that I have, and that's finished with shellac and wax, and that feels real nice. Shellac can also eat shellac. That's on the outside of like Skittles and Whoppers and stuff like that. Like the shiny coatings on candies is shellac. It's made from bugs. Yay, bugs! I was talking about what I was doing. Oh, also to get any residual dust off, I have isopropyl alcohol. And we can probably just use the paper towels that are here. And once I'm done that, I'll probably take this upstairs to just run a stove over it, run it over the stove real quick to get any like flyaway fibers. And yeah, boop bop boop, Bob's your uncle. Should be good to go. Haven't finished many projects on stream, and I have time off today, so I was like, oh, might as well. Now's the time. Yeah, they're a little proud of it. That once again should be fine. I'm gonna stop nitpicking on everything not being absolutely perfect. I'm just gonna get stuff done. So this is probably fine to do the 220 one. I'm sure scratching the magnet isn't great. Like, I don't know how it deals with scratched magnet particles, how to get them off or anything, but it should be fine. Ugh. So just going in circles. God, that light is so harsh. Hold on, let me turn this one down. Now it's just the backlight that's super harsh. See, completely gone. Whereas if I was using the purple paper, it would still have stuff. This is just super cheap big box store, or just like Chinese import store sandpaper. This is fine. This is going to be the inside of the box. I gotta stop tripping. This one I don't think I got any glue screws out, so I'm not gonna mar more the surface than I have to. So let's keep a thing here so that I can boppity boop, bibbity bobbity boutique. Probably should work less for the isopropyl alcohol, but it should be fine. It's just IPA. So I'm just saturating the cloth in it. The reason why I'm using IPA is it doesn't interact with the finish like at all, and also it evaporates pretty quickly. And that's important for wood. I don't want it to stay soaked for very long because that will change the whole texture and stuff. It can be good sometimes, especially when you're early on in a project that you're doing a lot of like coats of stuff on, like finishes. You might want to use water to raise the grain, but alcohol is just faster, and I use it. Turns out I use a lot of it in 3D printing anyway, so it doesn't hurt to have it around. I almost yeeted that out of my hand. I felt to try to leave. I'm proud of this because this is a panel. These are two different pieces. You can tell by the color difference, but they have the same grain pattern. They're from the same thing. They just were longer, and then I folded them around on themselves. So they're kind of grain matched to each other. It's not quite book match because it's not from the middle of them. Like it's not a piece that was split in half and then put side by side. Ah, okay. Don't know why. I looked up and OBS was frozen. I've been having some tech issues with this PC. I don't know if it's heat. I'm not getting any heat notices. It is an old computer, but it has some, given a new processor, and it has a pretty relatively beefy graphics card. Like I'm just running like VTube Studio and OBS and a web browser. Like I'm not running anything super wild, but every so often I just get hangups. One day I'll figure it out, or I'll just upgrade computers and then not worry about it, and then it'll become a problem with that computer later on. I don't like that edge. That's so proud. That's going to break one day. This right here. Get a chisel and go in there. This also makes the rest of the joint look sloppy. It is going to break anyway. Oh, but I got a chamfer on that. No. Saved by a chamfer. Saved from the worst of my impulses of perfectionism by a chamfer that I like. Is there anything more nihilistic than having your own work, something that you think is in your own work, stop you from perfecting the rest of your work? It's small pride in profit. Okay. All right. So, time to cover you and yeet you. So I'm trying to 3D print like a statuette, and it has like little ghosties. And I feel like a fool because I've been trying to, there's a left and a right one. And I feel like I've printed it so many times and I'm going between the files that say left and right. But I have a feeling that they're both the same side. And that I messed up in labeling them. And it's only taken me 6 prints to realize this. So the final confirmation, because I didn't keep good memory track, is on the printer now, dripping. You know, getting any extra resin off. So we'll see. Are there any bits of fuzz? Oh yeah. Yeah, once they dry, I'm gonna take this to the stove real quick and just real quick. Wait, should I? Yeah, I was thinking it might deactivate the magnets, but like they should be able to take a small blast. It's not gonna like heat them thoroughly or bring the critical temp. I'm just trying to burn off any flyaways, little fuzzes and threads, you know. Cool. Man, I'll tell you, less light is more. This looks so much warmer and nicer and homier than it usually does. Oh, those are repelling. That's perfect. Whew. So I'm trying to use this in a game tomorrow, so I need to give the time to finish. Oh, let me go get rags. So I've said it before when I first did this project. This is when people tell you to not put oily rags in trash cans, this is the stuff they're talking about. This and other associated oils like boiled linseed oil. They are oils that basically turn into plastics. They polymerize. It's exactly what happens like with cast iron pans. You know, people get the finish on them with layers of oil that's burned off, and it polymerizes what's left to create a barrier. Same exact thing. Same exact thing. Except this happens just by drying. And there's some accelerants in these. Like, I could use pure boiled linseed oil, and it might be more useful for blacksmithing, because you also use linseed oil in blacksmithing. But for woodworking, it could take like boiled linseed oil like up to 2 to 3 weeks to really cure, like to fully cure. Like usually it's not tacky and good to go after a few days, but like 2 or 3 days. But you know, for primary protection, it's usually not done. Kind of like concrete, where it takes a while to actually cure. So this stuff has a bunch of accelerant and dryer. So I'll also go get my gloves, because this, you know, it doesn't have any it doesn't have any non-standard contact warnings. It has the standard contact warnings for everything in a hardware store. Because everything in a hardware store is like, don't touch it, don't get on your skin, don't get on your eyes, etc., etc. Because, you know, it can be bad. But in most cases, because it's sold in a regular hardware store, any incidental contact is usually fine. In small amounts, you might get a little rash, but like, you get rashes all the time. welcome to being a human being. Just filled with rashes. At least we're not filled with worms much anymore. I was actually listening to a video about allergies, and one of the it was going over a group of studies that were indicating that the reason why you're seeing, or a potential cause, one of probably many potential causes for why you're seeing so many allergies is, because allergies are your own immune system overreacting, is that for most of human history, like up until yesterday, most of humanity had worms, in one form or another, for varying periods of time. And with better sanitation and moving, drinking water away from excrement, we have less exposure to worms, which is a good thing. We definitely shouldn't want worms back because we have allergies, but body misses the training for it because that's part of your response pathway, and it overreacts to the proteins that it may have initially considered as part of the profile of worms, which is pretty cool. This isn't for all allergies. I think this is for like shellfish and some other allergies. That's cool. I think so anyway. I mean, like I said, it's a preliminary thing. Probably nothing like super final, because like if it like people does not have shellfish allergies before and like shrimp allergies, like I feel like they did, but it's more just trying to isolate instead of the specific like one interaction, because there's probably one interaction that explains all of it, but just less training of the immune system in youth and adulthood. And this gets thrown on the floor, and oh, I can hear him on the end of my reach. Sorry, I was in my basement. I'm in my basement this whole time. In the back of my basement, it has concrete floors, so that's where I put my oily rags until they cure. And once they're cured, they won't spontaneously combust. So the dangerous part is done. All right. So I will put the Be Right Back screen on, and I'll go burn these real fast and hopefully not have any tragedies in the meantime. And I'll be back in about 2 minutes. And let me just write a message too. I've returned. Ow. I instantly stabbed myself. So, I burned everything off a little bit. Now, I'll have to go through another step after I use the rag to apply the tongue oil because, you know, even though they're lint-free cloths, they can still leave threads when there's rough parts on the thing. And there's less rough parts than they used to be, but, you know, stuff happens. And that's fine. So, what I want to do first, I'm going to put on my gloves just because I feel like it's going to go fine. Is I'm going to take my lid. We're going to do it one more time. Clip. Ah! Unclip. I'm going to flip it around. 1, 2, 3. All right. All right, that's exactly what we want. Okay, perfect. So let me get some stuff out of the way real quick. Because I'm going to put these up on blocks. Oh, that was a lot of noise. Or triangles. Where are my triangles? What happened to my triangles? Where did I put them? I'm a fool. I have triangles for paint and finish. That you can just like pop stuff up on to keep them from help make sure that their standard finish isn't interrupted. But I don't see where I put them, and I don't remember what box I put them. Ugh. I'm gonna be so mad when I find them. I could feel me already being frustrated by finding them and going, "Where were you?" It's gonna sound dumb. I swore I just kind of left them on the floor, where I would be able to see them easily, and I don't see them on the floor where I'd be able to see them easily. So that's unfortunate. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna use the power of not caring the whole time, caring a little bit, and nails, and a hammer. We're gonna take these nails, and drive them into the bench. Where's the hammer? A hammer. Where did I put my hammer? Like, I have a bunch of other hammers, but they're not like the standard hammer you use for hammering nails. There it is. Like, I'm looking at all the other hammers I have, and I'm like, like a drilling hammer. I have a tack hammer over there. All sorts of hammers. So we are going to also, where is, okay. Just real quick, we're just gonna dull the edges here real fast, just to limit any risk of splitting here. Also, pilot holes would be fine, but I really don't want to deal with that. Also, I really just want to retop this bench, this workbench. It's probably the next project. I don't need them to be dull. I'm just trying to get. There we go. Trying to get them. Ooh. Oh, I missed. Why are these sparking? What the heck have I done? I've never hit a nail and had it spark before. What is happening here? sorry I didn't catch it on camera. But then you just make fun of me missing those hammer blows, so it's all even. I had a piece of wood that was lying up against my bench. And yellow. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Sorry for the loud noises. They're completed now. All right. So we are going to start the finishing process. Let me just raise this camera a little bit. A little bit higher. Here, look, they're there. Also, moved the light significantly as the wood came down. Let me just get the light back in here. Okay, that's fine. Kind of washed out, but that's fine. So we're just gonna get a nice little puddle here. Try not to get it in the floor that's covered in sawdust. Pick this part up, and then just mog it. Just hit it every place, and if it still seems thirsty and that it's still soaking it up, you will just dip and go again. Don't want to have to deal with that, potentially. Needing to be disposed of to avoid spontaneous combustion. Spontaneous sounds like it's unexplained. We know why it does that, to prevent combustion. Yeah, see, like the sand grain keeps sucking up some. So we're just going to go back to the big old stinking bottle. I looked over the bottle. My reading ain't good, but I believe this didn't have any specific warnings about inhaling the fumes. Doesn't really have that many fumes. See, there's too much on that one side. So what we're going to do is we're just going to move it around all the sides. And then I'll use that to take off and go to the other piece. So you start to get the little pills on it, the little pillies. And like this is the show side, so like I want to be extra gentle with that. I don't want there to be any like really errant marks or smudges. So we're going to start with this, and then we're going to go back and pick some off the other piece before we head on back to this one. And then we head on it before we distribute more from the bottle. So I'm just going around the back. Back was pretty well covered before, but with the new holes, it just makes sense to cover it again. And also any place we may have just not gotten great penetration into, like the end grain here. End grain always needs more because it soaks down through the wood fibers. All right, that's perfect. I'm gonna pop you there for 1 minute, and then we're gonna go back to the first one, and I'm gonna just scoop up from this side. I'm gonna use a dry part of the cloth here to just run over it real fast. And then just take a look at the end grain. Okay, that's probably fine. Head back to the piece. Then we go to the sides. And I'm just going to go to the sides and face there real quick, and then I'll worry about the corners. Because there's a lot of ingrain there because of the dovetailing. All right, and now we're just going to take a little bit more. Really don't need that much more. We're pretty close. Actually, I'm going to flip this inside out too. Part where there's less pills, you know, like flyaways and stuff like that. Where the rag is more structurally intact. Okay. All right, just squeezing the rag a little bit to make sure that places get hit. Maybe I should have sanded this whole top. It's almost like it got super glue or something like that up here, and there's no reason there should be any super glue on that. So maybe just rub it in with my finger here. Maybe it's just really dry. Squeeze the cloth a little bit. Okay. All right. Just like a little bit more just to dab on. Again, just hitting all the corners again, hitting the end grain, making sure everything that wants to soak up any finish is able to and has ample stores. All right, now we're going to go to a part of this rag that doesn't have very much on it. Just getting harder to find. There we go, right in the center. So we're just going to fold that back, fold that back, fold that back. So we have a relatively big space there. We're just going to ever slightly just brush. My own worst enemy is just my fingerprints here. Yeah, we're just going to go the right there. And then bada bing, bada boom, Bob's your uncle. So let me pop it here, and then this will be it for today because these are basically done. I'm just gonna buff it with that what do you call that? The thingy. Buff it with the paper bag, and then it'll be done, and it's good to go. So thank you for joining me. Yeah, we finished the project on stream. Abacus, 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 abacus. Yeah, buddy. That's a fine looking abacus. I'll get some glamour shots of it a little bit later once it's done curing. Probably be done tonight. I can come down and take a peek. If not, it'll definitely be done by tomorrow morning. Gave it a nice thin coat, and wood's pretty well saturated, so should be no issues there. That stuff on the bench, I can just stay there. And yeah, I don't really have any other products I don't want to start because I don't want to get anything covered in sawdust or anything like that and interrupting the finish. So this was a shorter one. This is only an hour. I got a project done. Nice. Good to feel a sense of accomplishment. Next, I have some other little projects. Like, actually, I haven't finished that spice rack from Valentine's Day. It's kind of embarrassing just looking at it over there. And that one's, I think, ready just to be sanded and glued together. Along with me making any final changes as I look over it and think if I hate it. but we are running out of room in the spice rack. So probably be appreciated by Mrs. So yeah, thank you for joining me. And looks like we had a more stable stream today than yesterday. Don't know what was going on yesterday, but thank you for joining me, and hopefully this inspired you to go on and make some. You can do it too. And I'll probably also post about how that BattleTech game went, because that's we're having a pretty big one. It's like a campaign game. So how the Abacus went, how thoroughly we were wrecked or wrecked our opponents. Should be fun. I do want to also make that thing for allowing me to cut terrain for BattleTech a bit easier. To start making a repository of that, just to help move people into the game. And it's fun to have real terrain, not just the maps. But yeah, once again, thank you, and have a good day.